Rhythm. You dance to it in the night, and you gotta get it in your soul. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What is rhythm? I honestly, I have a hard time describing that. Not because I'm some, what's it called? Some, uh, music geek that, I know all the terms, but, I'm so philosophical. Or because I just don't really know. Is that, movement in music? Is that, the absence of sound for, you know what I mean? It's is it what's the word? Is it the repetition of a feeling, of a pulse? Um, the absence of sound thing. I meant in between the notes. Is that what matters? It's a very interesting topic, what all these terms are, because we can easily define them, like melody, harmony, rhythm. Like these things are pretty easy to describe in your head, but I feel like they're pretty difficult. I feel like they definitely are not very easy to fully conceptualize in a way that includes everything. Because there's some harmonies that are melodies, that act like melodies. Um, if you isolate a harmony, it can be a melody on its own, or a bass line. Bass lines can be melodic. This goes into metal music as well. Death metal can have melodies, they just have more chromatic ones. Why do we have melodic death metal? Like, chromatic, something being chromatic is still melodic in a sense, because isn't that just melody? It's a very interesting topic, and I would love to discuss more about that if I really had the necessary tools and different musicians who have described it differently one day maybe. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because there is a genre of music called djent. I've talked about it a couple times. Um, Essentially, it's kind of mixed progressive metal with off kilter metalcore esque rhythms. Uh, sorry, my friend was texting me. It's so djent is interesting because Meshuggah was the band that started it, right? And really, not a whole lot of bands were doing that. There's a couple here and there from the early OOs that were really just really Meshuggah copycats almost. They definitely were inspired by them. But then from '08 onwards, there was a bunch of metalcore infused ones, like Textures, Monuments, Architects. That one band that makes Tall, is that what it's called? Doll? I don't know. Um, I call that style dark djent. But anyways, today's album of the day is one of the things I want to talk about, and that is Existential Gravity by Obsidian Mantra. So this is a progressive djent death metal album. Djent is really cycling angular rhythms that stop after the normal 4/4 pattern, right? Um, it's a very interesting topic, but a lot of djent bands were kind of just sounding like each other 2012 onwards, and I feel like there just wasn't a whole lot of nuance anymore. They kind of just sounded the same. They all wanted to sound like Monuments basically. But so essentially, the reason I'm bringing this up is not only is this a djent album, but this is a good djent album. There are elements where they're just kind of this shit fucks. One of the biggest aspects as to why Meshuggah was so great is because it wasn't just how many highly syncopated rhythms can we put into one song. These have a cycle that you can follow. You can go mm, to. That's what a lot of Meshuggah's albums, that's why a lot of their early work is so highly regarded, because not even though these are highly syncopated, out of the ordinary, off kilter rhythms, they still follow a flow. You can still, but then once the formula developed, it was keep keep the chug, because it was always chugs in the 2010s. Keep the chug in the same like rhythm as the bass drum. Snare drum is always on count 3, and you always do like the metalcore cymbals, and then like when the pattern starts again or after 4 bars of 4/4 pass, bigger cymbal. They just followed a pattern, like a formula. Uh, but these guys didn't. This really felt like if you mixed like Meshuggah and Gojira, and those are like the two main bands. Like if you like those bands, because this isn't very like metalcore-y. If anything, this is a lot less like atmospheric than other Gent albums. I really liked most of these songs, but the best songs on here were Entering the Inner Shade, Wander of the Cursed Ones, and Afflicted with the Plague. Those 3 songs were great. But I found every song on here enjoyable. There was not a single one that was like, but yeah, I think I did a good job not sounding like Periphery or Textures or Meshuggah. Like, these guys don't sound like the bands that they're trying to sound like, They really do kind of just sound like themselves while even still sounding like other Gent bands. But yeah, Gojira, Monuments, Textures, Tesseract, or Meshuggah. Yeah, if you like those bands, take a listen to it. It also has a really pretty, because it's a digipack. It's got a really pretty like, yeah. But yeah,